Just like rock and roll, Zombie Army 4 never dies. Here's everything you need to know about the latest Season 2 DLC content drop, Dead Zeppelin. Oh hi there, welcome to Rebellion. Don't mind all the 70s rock vinyls and scale models of blimps scattered around the place. We've just been getting in the right mood for Zombie Army 4's latest DLC mission, Dead Zeppelin. Or Dead Zepp if you were playing it before it was cool. While this latest batch of Season 2 Bloodshed doesn't have 8-minute drum solos, it does have just about everything else you'd expect from a new chapter brandishing that name. A lot of dead things, a rock and roll swagger, and a giant Zeppelin made of flesh that absolutely needs some attention from the hot end of your rifle. There's more too on the cosmetic front, so why don't we just get right into it after we direct your attention to that subscribe button there. You've watched enough YouTube videos to know what we want you to do with it. Ball's in your court now. Right, onto the blood and guts and that. It's a good job this latest mission doesn't actually feature the legendary rockers it references, because I've been trying to come up with zombie versions of their names for ages now, and so far I've only got John Paul Bones. Instead, the titular Dead Zeppelin is a very real airship made of steel and fusing matter that the gang discovers after crash landing in the mountains during a blizzard and then wandering into what's actually a pretty impressive facility. It begins with some dismantling of heavy artillery by shooting each gun's heart out, more than a day's work for this lot. A brief cable car ride later, you're in the guts of a grim Zeppelin construction site, dodging beams of pure glowing death and cursing whoever decided to light this facility with such moody ambience. There are a lot of places for creepers to surprise you from around here, so a routine 360 swivel is always a good idea. Pro tip. We won't spoil the latter stages, but we will say this. Rest assured that Zeppelin's not just for show. Okay, now what else is new in ZA4? Aside from the new excursion and its, I'm sorry, but just to say, excellent name, this latest batch of Season 2 goodness includes some new outfit options for Jun. Damn, that is some sleek and on-fleek couture Jun. And here we all are behind the camera in the same onesies we've been wearing since last March. And she's even got a ton of headwear variations too. Balaclava and mask. It's like entering Sub-Zero's walk-in wardrobe. There's a definite Snake Plissken vibe to this attire, aka Kurt Russell in Escape from New York, aka the character that allegedly inspired one Hideo Kojima's decisions when he sat down to make a protagonist for the Metal Gear Solid series. But I suppose that's all secondary next to how damn good Jun looks in these shades. Yes, work it. The ever-expanding Zombie Army 4 armoury gets 2 guns bigger this content drop, starting with the 7.65mm Polizei Pistola, a monster of a handgun that fires massive .765 rounds, usually dispensed from dirty great rifles, and produces a sound akin to an ultra-violent Beethoven symphony, all staccato rage and fury. As the fluent Deutsch speakers amongst you will have surmised, it was originally used by the German police force before Jun and her mates got their hands on it, and as you upgrade it, those leather details really pop, don't they? Joining one new addition in the pistols pile is another handheld sharpshooter, the Nagant M1895. And while it's a fine firearm that delivers an enormous close-range punch and also sounds like an asteroid coughing when you pull the trigger, on the downside it does mean that I have to try and pronounce Nagant again. Can we just call this one the M1895, please? Thank you. You know the drill by now, it's a big old content drop, so new weapon skins are in the sack of goodies too. Black Ice is a vibe and a half, looking like somebody dropped their high-powered rifle in some particularly luminescent snow. It's perfectly in keeping with the chilly surroundings you find yourself in during the opening stages of Dead Zeppelin, and it really pops in darker areas too. To this voiceover though, you can't beat the glowing lime green of this one. Unlike those people who ruin bake-off eliminations for you on Twitter, this toxic is definitely to be filed under the good column. You wouldn't necessarily have a car this colour, would you? But for a Gewehr with various dangerous experimental add-ons all over it, we reckon it's just about perfect.
Let's try this!
Finally, what do you give the player who has everything? Perhaps they have a specced out character with all the perks and upgrades they could ever wish for, and yet still wear a look of inscrutable deadpan on their face that doesn't reflect their achievements or their disposition. I'll tell you what you get them, a great big tin bucket with a face drawn on it. Guess no longer what your teammates might be feeling, just take a quick squiz at the bucket and it's crystal clear what's going on in their heads. They also make excellent forfeits for matches with mates. Who was on Suicide Detail last round and let 3 of them get through and decimate your squad? Well, they're wearing a mandatory sad face bucket this round then. Sorry, it's just the rules. And we're out. That's a quick look at the closing drop of Season 2 content for Zombie Army 4, but keep your eyes peeled on the channel for further announcements. Oh, easy way to do that, by the way, that subscribe button down there. Cheers. Tell us what you'd like to see next, whether it's skins, new characters, more missions, or a bucket hat depicting ennui. Leave us a like if you enjoyed the vid, and we'll catch you next time.